What's up guys, it is Purple and today we are going to be going over how to make your first fire in Dayz, and then we'll be talking some more about fires afterwards, but I'm going to jump right in and teach you guys how to make a fire. Because if you're anything like me, you're looking up this video because you're stuck on top of a mountain somewhere, you are freezing to death, you desperately need to cook some food, and it is important that you do so in a timely manner. So we're going to jump right in and we're going to get started. There's just a few things you need to make a fire. There's a lot of stuff you can find out there in the game that'll help you do it more efficiently. However, I'm going to show you how to do it with just the things that you have around you. All you need, specifically the one item that you are going to need, is a sharp item of any kind. A knife, an axe, whatever you can get your hands on. So the first things we need a fuel source. So that's going to be these sticks. So you can find these bushes around. If you don't have an axe, if you have an axe, you can cut down any tree. If you don't have an axe, all around on the map, there are going to be all kinds of these little trees and bushes that you can look at, and you can just pull them down with your bare hands and get stuff out of them. So we pulled down that long stick, which we then held in our hands and broke down into short sticks, which we are now going to use as our fuel source for the fire. So like I said, everything you can get in your environment. The next thing we need is kindling. So our sticks are our fuel source. Our kindling you can get with any sharp item from any tree. You can gather dark bark, you see there. It might just say regular dark. It doesn't always say dark, I don't think. But you can gather bark. So we're going to get 2 pieces, and I'll tell you why we need 2 in a minute. You can... Oh, I guess I didn't quite finish that second animation. What the heck? Let's try that again. So we're going to get 2 pieces of it. One is for the kindling. The other one is for something else. So now if you take your dark bark in your hands, and you take your sticks and you drag them together, you're going to be able to craft a fireplace. So you need to make sure that you're crafting the thing that you want, because a lot of these recipes will have more than one option. So if you just use the scroll wheel, you can make the one you want. Let's go ahead and craft our fireplace. Notice it is raining. The thing about the rain is it can make lighting a fire difficult. However, it should be fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to go put it down in the shade of a big tree over here. And the tree should protect us well enough from the rain and keep our fire dry. It should be fine. So yeah, the other thing is these fires, you can just pick them up and move them around once you've built them, which is pretty good. So you can see we now have our fire down here. We want a little bit more. So in here we can see there's a dark bark and a short stick, which is all right, but also that stick is wet, so we might as well just get a new one anyway. I've got some on me already. I'm going to put these in here. Because the short stick will burn up pretty quick, so you need to make sure you have enough fuel in there. So the next step is we have our fuel, we have our kindling. Now we need something to light it. In the world, you can find lighters, matches, flares, all kinds of stuff. But also, if you don't want to have to worry about that, or you haven't been lucky enough to get your hands on one yet, you can simply take a piece of bark and a short stick, and when you combine them, instead of the fireplace, you can make the hand drill kit, which is just a little tool that you can just make out of wood, as long as you have that sharp item, and you can go ahead and you can light a fire with it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that now. So this nice fire we built in the shade of the tree, we're going to light it up with this drill kit. And just like that, you have built your first Dayz fire. Look at that baby go. All right, so the next step, if you've got a piece of food, you're going to need to cook it up real quick. What you need to find is a bush that is going to give you a long stick. So this right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this down, and we're going to get a long stick out of it. Take our long stick in our hand, go back over by the fire, because now we need something that we can cook with. So if we combine a sharp item with our long stick, you may want to make sure you're on sharpen. It should go to sharpen by default, but that is the one you're looking for. If you split, you will just make more short sticks, which is fine, but that's not what we're after here today. So now with our sharpened stick, you take whatever it is you need to cook, whether it's vegetables, meat, mushrooms you found. Cooking them usually makes them more nutritious, as well as with meat. If you eat raw meat, you're going to get sick, and you don't want that. So you can drag it, whatever you're cooking, either down to the food slot or just drop it on top of it, and it will put it on there. All you have to do now, we got our meat on our stick. You just walk up and you look at the fire and you can see the roast. So what you got to do is you got to look at it. You got to hold down that left click, that roast button, and then your guy will sit here and he will cook it up. So what we have to do is we have to wait for that circle to do one full rotation. After it does a full rotation, it will cook the meat. You don't want to cook it longer than that, because you will burn it, which will make it sick. Will make you sick. But It's very easy. The circle is very obvious. And even if you were to go ahead and turn your HUD off, because let's be honest, DayZ is a beautiful cinematic game. Turning that HUD off looks so good. We're going to watch our meat. It will be very obvious when it is cooked. It will have a big visual change and you will notice for sure that it is done. So you'll know to stop cooking it. There it is. You can see that big change. You saw it. So I let go of the button and we stand up. And now if we take a little look, we have one cooked venison steak. Delicious. So let's go ahead and put our stick down. Pick our meat up. There you go. You've made your first fire in DayZ. You've cooked up your first piece of food. You're going to survive. Well, for now. There's always another danger out there around the corner waiting for you in DayZ. So that's the basics of the fire. I'm going to go over some more information now that might be handy to know. I just wanted to make sure to get that out there in a hurry because I know that sometimes it can be a real pain in the butt to get into a YouTube video to find something quickly that you need. And then it's got a long intro. It's a big pain in the butt. That's not what we're after. We want to get you that information quick and get you set up ready to survive. So yeah, stick around if you want some more information about fires. Put a little more fuel on here. Bam. All right. You can see the little bar on there. It's showing you vaguely how much fuel it has in it, that white bar. It's not got a whole lot in it because it's just sticks. If we were to get some firewood, which we will come over here and do now, some of these bushes should drop firewood. Or if I don't have an axe on me, but if you had an axe, chopping down any of these trees would give you logs and or firewood, and then you can chop the logs up into firewood, which is pretty good. Oh, here's one right here that I had done a bit earlier. So one thing to note is fire is super noticeable. It gives off smoke and it gives off light. So doing it in the shadow of trees and in a big cluster of trees is a great idea. One other thing I want to talk about quickly with this fireplace is if you happen to have a pot. A pot is a great item to have if you find it because you can fill a pot up with water. You can cook in a pot. You can store items in it and it will protect it. I don't know if you're aware, but like if you get shot while you're playing DayZ, it can ruin your clothes. It can ruin the items in your clothes. Those bullets passing through you, they can mess up your items. But if you put stuff in a pot, it will protect it and keep it from getting beat up, which is pretty nice if you have something very important. So we got a long stick. Specifically what we're looking for here is a long stick and some short sticks. So I'm just grabbing those while I'm talking. But yeah, so a pot is very good to have just in general. And then also it's good because what I'm about to show you, I don't actually have the pot, but I can still show you what it is I'm talking about even without the pot. So I grabbed another long stick because we're going to break that down into some short sticks here. So the good thing about a pot is you can cook many pieces of meat at once on a fire rather than just the one that you can do on a stick. So what I'm doing here, I've got short sticks in my hand. You need 2 of them. I've got 3. That's fine so long as you have as many as you need. And you combine it with the long stick and you can now craft a cooking stand. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to craft this. This is a new addition. You used to need a camping tripod, which is a big item you can find and carry around, but now you can just craft this out of sticks, which is really great. So we'll just throw that on the ground and we pick up our cooking stand that we just craft and you can attach it to the fire and you'll see it'll set up over top of it. And why this is so good is because now if you had cookware, if you had a cooking pot, you could put it in there and you could cook your meat in there, which what's cool about that, like I said, is you could fit 2 pieces of fat and then also 2 pieces of steak underneath it in this pattern, and you could cook that all at once. Cooking meat in a pot is interesting because if you can cook meat in a pot with nothing in it and it will cook it and it's fine. If you cook it in there with fat in it, it will use some of the fat to cook the meat and make the meat more nutritious and better. And also, like I said, the pot holds a ton of water, which you can drink directly out of, so it's pretty good. If you have water in it, it will boil the meat and turn it into a different kind of cooked steak than what you cook when it's right over the fire, which I believe is a little bit less nutritious, but also gives you more water when you're consuming it, so it's not too bad. The other cool thing about this here with this setup is that if you have that cook pot and it's full of water, you can So water in Dayz will make you sick if it's not purified. Water that comes out of a well is always clean. Water that comes from anywhere else is usually dirty, and if you drink it, you can get sick. However, if you fill the pot up with dirty water and then you put it on this stand over the fire and you boil it, it will purify it and you will no longer get sick from it, so that you can drink that water without any concern of getting sick. So fire's pretty important, pretty cool. One last thing with these kinds of fires that's good about them is it was raining. You got a little wet. When you're wet in Dayz, it's harder to stay warm. When you're damp, when you're not warm, your character can get sick, and obviously we don't want that. So when you're around the fire, any items that you have that are wet, you can throw on the ground. And over the period of a couple minutes, depending on how wet they are, sometimes very quickly, those items will dry out and they will help you stay warmer, and they will keep you from getting sick, which is huge. Also, if you have any items that are in your pockets that are wet, which I don't necessarily think I do, you could throw them out on the ground and they would dry as well in the area of the fire. So you can see now they no longer say they're damp. They're all dry now. So I'm a happy dry boy. I'm ready to carry on my Dayz adventures. It's fantastic. Yeah, so this has been making a fire out in the wilderness with Perpz. I appreciate you checking out the video. If you enjoyed the tips and tricks, go ahead and throw me a like. If you want to see some more of my stuff, I'm hopefully going to be making some more videos like this. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you. And if you're looking for any cool Dayz servers to hang out on and check out, go ahead and search in your Dayz search bar on the community servers for servers that start with Perpz, Perpz. Right now we have just a deerisle one. It's pretty low key. It's not too populated at the moment, but I'm going to hopefully be making some more videos and trying to get the name out of there a little bit. And hopefully we'll be setting up some Perpz Dayz servers. They'll be pretty close to vanilla. You know, we want to encourage people to get on, have a good time, and explore without too much extra craziness, because there's a lot of cool mods out there. There's a lot you can do with Dayz, and it's all great, but I like keeping it pretty close to normal. Maybe some extra guns, maybe a little bit of extra stuff, but we're looking for that true Dayz survival experience, and we love it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much. See you later, guys.